Ladies and gentlemen, as the great Swami Vivekananda once said, all knowledge that the world has ever received comes from the mind. The infinite library of the universe is in our own mind. And it is this knowledge that we try to mold, guide, and augment at the Heritage Group of Institutions. Ladies and gentlemen, this year, the year of 2020, has been somewhere between a revelation and a strict teacher. While making humanity face one of its toughest challenges yet, the year has also taught the world to discover new ways in which to live and function. And thus, the wheels have turned, and here we are at the threshold of a new beginning, at the Heritage Academy. A year that has promised to be like no other. We today stand at the threshold of our reinvented lives. So let us come together and make this fresh start an occasion to remember. I would now like to invite you all to join us for the beginning of our fresh start with the lighting of the lamp and a Saraswati Vandana. Ladies and gentlemen, to begin the proceedings of the day, I would now like to invite the founder principal of the Heritage Academy, Professor Dr. Gour Banerjee, to kindly deliver the welcome address. Sir.
Good morning, Honorable Vice Chairperson, West Bengal State Council of Higher Education, Professor Mamata, a distinguished academician and a prolific speaker, our chief guest, and respected Madam Rita Bhimani, founder, CEO, Ritam Communications, our guest of honor. We cordially welcome you all. I feel privileged to welcome respected Chief Executive Officer, Kalyan Bharati Trust, Sri Pradip Kumar Agarwal sir, who is a source of continuous support, encouragement, and inspiration for all of us in the Heritage Group of Institution. I further like to welcome Director Kalyan Bharati Trust, Mr. Probir sir, and advisor and Director HBS, Professor K.K. Chaudhuri sir in the webinar for their valuable guidance. Professor Madhupa Bakshi, Dean Media Science Department, distinguished dignitaries, members of faculty and staff of the Heritage Group of Institutions, I welcome you all from the core of my heart. Last but not the least, respected parents and my most beloved students, I offer you very warm welcome on this auspicious occasion of Students Orientation Program Convergence 2020 in the Heritage Academy. In fact, today is the 14th orientation program for BBA and BCA department students, while 5th for the Media Science department students. I fail in my duty if I do not take the opportunity of extending my heartfelt thanks to our honorable 22 trustees of Kalyan Bharati Trust, headed by our chairman of the trust, visionary Sri H.K. Chaudhuri sir, but for their commitment to the society, particularly for the state of West Bengal, such a state-of-art infrastructure and facilities could hardly be created. At the outset, I would like to congratulate new batch of students present here for being selected through rigorous admission process, including the marks criteria and critical personal interview by me and Dr. Madhupa Bakshi. I feel happy that you opted for the Heritage Academy to build your career, and I sincerely believe you would not regret when you pass out 3 years hence. Our primary objective is to create a center of excellence through high standard of academic delivery and holistic development of personality by organizing extra co-curricular activities on a regular basis. Presently, due to pandemic, classes are being conducted on virtual mode, and when the situation improves, we will be moving to physical classroom academic delivery when you can boast of your college for its spacious and airy classroom equipped with state-of-art teaching aids, exclusive library with large number of text and reference books, journals as well as e-journals, well-equipped 2 computer lab with latest version of software, state of laboratories and television shoot floor in the media science department. The academy is blessed with supportive management, state-of-art infrastructure, and adequate number of full-time, dedicated, and highly educated team of faculty. They not only take care of academic interest of the individual students, but also keep a close watch on the grooming and personality development through deeply rooted mentorship system. In fact, from the beginning, we have started with an exclusive deep-rooted mentorship program for every 30 students, we have kept one teacher mentor to take care of their everything, every concern, every issues that they may face during this time. We organize special value-added beyond curriculum classes in every semester, seminar, panel discussions, presently in webinar form in virtual mode on recent topics are organized at regular interval with speakers of eminence from industry, from India and abroad, and also academia. As regards dress code, I must tell you, we do not have any dress code as such, but dress code, we have dress code, but we do not have uniform. We expect the students to come in formals and maintain the dignity of the heritage in the campus and also outside. Attendance at the time of interpersonal interview, me and Dr. Bakshi has repeatedly expressed our desire that you must have 100% attendance. And academy also emphasizes on the word discipline and is committed to academic fostering through discipline. The proposal for the Heritage Academy was first conceived in 2006 by our Honorable Chairman Sir, Kalyan Bharati Trust, Sri H.K. Chaudhuri Sir. The Heritage Academy was set up with 2 courses, BBA and BCA, with intake of 60 each on 1st August 2007, with 120 students affiliated under Maulana Abul Kalam Azad University of Technology, the then West Bengal University of Technology, Kolkata. With the gradual increase in intake in BBA and BCA, and introduction of Media Science Department to two courses, BSc in Media Science and MSc in Media Science in 2016. Our student strength at present rose to 1,000 plus. Our students are doing exceedingly well, both in academics and career progression. We have repeated toppers, gold medalists in BBA, BCA, and Masters in Media Science program. Majority of our students secure 75% and above marks in university examination. Pass out students of BCA and BBA have got admission in frontline colleges in India and abroad in higher studies like MBA, including IIM and IMT, MCA, Masters in Science, PhD program, and frontline corporate like Fannie Mae, Washington, USA. Good number of students in BCA have published research paper in National International Journal in the month of 2020. Second and third year batch of students of BCA and BBA could successfully complete 84 online courses through Coursera. Excellent placement track record is for BCA. We really boast from the very beginning. All eligible and interested students of BCA program have got placement in leading IT companies like Wipro, Infosys, TCS, SAP Lab, iGet, CTS, British Telecom, Amazon, and Deloitte. Satisfactory internship and placement for our MSc in Media Science as well. My dear students, you have grown up to be a responsible young citizen. After a rigorous school life, now you will be enjoying a lot of freedom. Therefore, you need to learn to manage your time properly and make the best use of it. My beloved students, you must have a dream. Only focused and smart hard work can convert your dream into reality. I would like to see all of you as a very good students in the campus. However, I would still be happier to see you a good human being and responsible citizen of our beloved country. I repeat, I would still be happier to see you as a good human being and responsible citizen of our beloved country. My smart students, your good days have come and you will see all sorts of prosperity and growth in the days to come. With these few words, I would like to see you in a colorful note during your stay in the campus. I would also like to see you tremendous prosperity and growth in your career progression. Thank you all. Jai Hind. God bless you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your kind and welcoming words, sir. I would now like to invite Professor Dr. Madhupa Bakshi, Dean, the Department of Media Science of the Heritage Academy, to kindly address our audience. Madam.
Thank you, Rita ma'am. Dignitaries gracing this occasion, senior sirs, ED sirs, associate sirs, principal sirs, all my respected seniors, and the class of 2023. Good morning, and thank you for being with us. This day is historic for all of us at the Heritage Academy. As never before, nor again, are we going to see a batch ushered in the midst of a pandemic. Philosopher George Santana pointed out, those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. Therefore, it is asked that we remember how 1918 pandemic had shaped the fabric of life. The old and weak had passed a bit into the new generation, and a much more healthier generation emerged out of it in a better economy. Therefore, we are hopeful that the batch of 2023 can lead us out of the COVID-19 boom. As you step into your youth, you have unique experiences which we do not have. Thanks to COVID-19, you have learned to have a minimalist life and to utilize technology to fulfill almost every aspect of life. You are more conscious about health than we are. You have technology to reach out to the world. You have insight into human frailties to create a sustainable world. In 2023, you will be stepping into a world which will be full of possibilities. Technology, business, and media. Every sector should be offering opportunities, though it is too early to predict what the opportunities will be. Yet, right now, our corridors are empty, the young voices are missing. The green football ground is forlorn, but we want you to be there. We will see you there too. In these 5 years that I have been, almost 5 years that I have been there, we have got tremendous support from Principal Sir, from our senior management, from CEO Sir. And we have bloomed. In these years, my students have done projects with esteemed institutions like IIM Calcutta. They have corporate projects, they have live experiences of corporate projects. Their films have been accepted in international film festivals. Our own professors have sent films outside, and that has been accepted. The students are shining, some of them going abroad to foreign institutions. Some of them, even after bachelor's, are getting accepted in the industry. The master students have brought laurels. They have almost every batch has a medal to their credit. So we are very hopeful that we will be building a much more stronger future with the support of the entire Heritage family, which has given us so much opportunity. Welcome to the Heritage House family, the batch of 2023. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for encouraging our students as you always do. Now, I would like to further invite Professor K.K. Chaudhuri, Director of the Heritage Business School, to kindly say a few words.
Good morning, everybody. It's my pleasure to welcome our distinguished, respected guest, Dr. Professor Mamata is the Vice Chairman of the West Bengal State Council of Higher Education and a famous economist. We thank you, Madam, for accepting our invitation. We are also thankful to Mrs. Rita Bhimani. She is known in the Calcutta and other areas in the communication world. She is also associated with our media science department. We are thankful to you, ma'am, for accepting your presence today. Our respected Sri Probir, Director, Kalyan Bharati Trust, and my respected Sri Pradip Agarwal, Chief Executive Officer, Kalyan Bharati Trust, Principal, Dr. Gour, Banerjee, Madhupa, and my faculty colleagues, and my dear students who are today in front of us, though we cannot see anyone, but online remote system has become a reality. And all of us could recall that all of us have faced such a day in our life. Maybe some of us, the older generations, in the 30 years ago, the younger faculty members, maybe 10 years, 20 years ago. But all of us remember this day. So for these students, this is a new journey begins. A new journey in a sense that school life was fully bounded, fully directive, under the direct control of the faculty and the teacher and the principal. But as soon as you enter into the higher education, you are stepping towards freedom. Level-wise, the freedom increases. Now, the risk of freedom is that freedom gives you a choice, that what to choose and what not. That is the risk. That has a chance of failures, that of uncertainties. But through this process, you will gain self-confidence. And that experience matters. And you will see, you will bunk classes, and you will see that the assignments are not submitted on time, and the projects are delayed. Now, these are realities. All of us have done it, and thereby we have progressed in our own place. So you will also progress in your life, in your way. But what is required is you require to pass through a process. And in the process, there are risks, and there would be risk. And there lies the beauty, there lies the excitement. And until and unless there is the excitement in learning, I think it is as dull as possible. So we are interested to create excitement in you so that you are interested to learn, not that we can force you to learn, but our objective in heritage is very clear, that we will teach you how to fly, but you have to fly. We are with you. And I'm sure if we look back your alumni, we'll bring our alumni here in front of you for interactions. You will see how they have grown up, how they have established themselves. And today you are 18 plus, an adult. And when you'll be graduate, it will be 18 plus 3, it will be 21. You will see there is a different kind of a person. This is a value added product. Now you are a raw material. So in the 3 years process, you will see when you will get your graduation degree in media science or in BBA or in BCA, or some of you are placed in some of the IT companies of repute. Then you will see your journey was successful. Your way of looking into future was right. And the teachers were very helpful, and ultimately you are in a place where from you can see the top of the world. And our objective simultaneously is to prepare you for the university examinations, because we are under the affiliation of Maulana Abul Kalam Azad University of Technology, West Bengal, because we have to follow the syllabus. So we have to follow the examination days, internal tests, but there are different kinds of fields also that will be offering you different kinds of webinar. You can hear different varieties of education, varieties of learning, not education, varieties of learning. Maybe from the field of cinema, maybe in the field of your sports, maybe in the field of management, maybe in the field of economics. So there will be different varieties, and that variety will change the taste, so that the monotony of learning in the classroom, though in a distance mode, will be changing. You will get different kinds of other facilities to enjoy yourself with your fests, with your cultural programs, with other areas of interest. And I'm sure the heritage will provide you the platform. And you'll be happy to learn that your alumni has experienced this, and you will also experience in the coming 3 years' times. You will then appreciate that you are in the right place and you are in the right academy in the city of Kolkata. Thank you very much. Wish you best of luck.
Thank you so much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to invite Mr. Probir Roy, the Director of Kalyan Bharti Trust, to kindly say a few words.
Good morning. It is my proud privilege again to welcome our chief guest, Mamata, guest of honor, Rita Bhimani, other distinguished guests, our Pradip Agarwal, CEO of the trust, advisor K.K. Chaudhuri, principal Gour Banerjee, Dean Madhupa, Bakshi, my dear colleague, all faculty members, and my dear students. On behalf of Kalyan Bharti Trust and on my personal behalf, I again welcome all of you in today's interaction. Kalyan Bharti Trust was formed by 22 leading industrialists who all came from North.
I'm afraid you're on mute. If we can kindly unmute Mr. Roy's microphone.
Someone may have to call him. He's probably not able to hear.
Sorry.
Yes, he's back with us. Not an issue, sir. Not an issue. Please continue.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Sorry. How much you missed, I don't know. From the beginning?
Yes, if that's all right with you.
I see. From the beginning, you couldn't hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, sorry.
Not at all. Not at all.
So I again.
Sir, I'm afraid you're on mute again. If you could kindly unmute your microphone.
Okay, something is going wrong. Okay. The Kalyan Bharati Trust was formed by 22 like-minded industrialists. They all came from North India and they had a very humble beginning. But today, all of them are leaders in their own area of business, not only in the country, some of them globally. And they feel so much indebted to the society for all they have been able to get from the society. They wanted to contribute to the extent they can to create something which will create future leaders of our country and also of the world. With that intention, they have decided to create number of educational institutions. Started with Heritage School, which started fast, then Heritage Institute of Technology, then Heritage Academy, then Heritage Management Institute, then Heritage Academy, then Heritage Law College, and now Heritage Degree College. All of them are almost one of the best, not only in the state, in the country as well. You are really fortunate, and I must congratulate all the students that you must have worked very hard to get into Heritage, because it's not easy to get into Heritage Academy. But it is one of the best institutes, not only in the states and anywhere in the country, both in terms of faculty and also in terms of infrastructure and facilities you will get. But in spite of all this, you are going to face a totally different world, which is going to be highly competitive for all of you. It's going to be a very tough life. At the same time, it is going to be a huge opportunity for all of you, because now work is going to be global. You must have seen only 2 days back, there was a newspaper report in Calcutta. CESC has decided in future, all time to come, 50% of their employees can work from home. So it doesn't matter whether you are in Calcutta or Delhi or New York or London, you can work for CESC from home. 50% of their employees can work from home, and this is a globally it has gone up further. I know a very young lady who is editor of a leading newspaper in Hong Kong. She came back to Delhi for some reason about 8 months back, and she never went back, and she is still the editor of that newspaper, doing an extremely good job, getting a very high amount of salary, but sitting in her hometown in Delhi. So this is going to happen. So you have opportunity globally. You can work anywhere in the world if you are competent. And if you are not competent, you cannot get a job locally also. It's going to be a tougher life for all of you. So you will have to work harder, but I am sure you have very, very good faculty, and all of them will help you, and you will have a great future. I wish all of you all the best of luck in life. Thank you and good day.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for encouraging our students. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Pradip Agarwal, CEO of the Kalyan Bharati Trust, to kindly address our audiences.
Good morning. and welcome to Convergence 2020. Thank you, Dr. Mamata Roy and Rita Di for joining today. So you agreed so nicely and instantly that we are privileged. And thank you, Director, Principal, Dean, faculties, and others who are there on such an auspicious day. On behalf of Kalyan Bharati Trust, I welcome all the students of BBA, BCA, and media students to Heritage Group of Institutions, in particular to the Heritage Academy, your new home for next 3 years. I also welcome all the parents of these new students to this program and to the Heritage family. You have decided to join us during this time of challenges. Congratulations. As you are all aware that a new education policy 2020 had been adopted very recently, and all the UG program will be 4-year program instead of 3 year. I think you will be one of the fortunate batch to win the league of 3 years. So it is a time when we have to look at learning through a different set of lenses, do things differently, learn to accept the new reality, adjust and adopt to a new way of proceedings, and above all, continue our journey ahead. This new normal way of learning gives you the opportunity to build your skills for the new world. You should join various online platforms nowadays like Coursera, Harvard. They are providing online free courses that as a Thai students you can attend. And it will be, we have got a Campus Connect program where you can avail of this facility in a proper way. You are now a part of Heritage family. I wish each of you all the best for a meaningful, productive and successful stay at the Heritage Group of Institutions. Be safe and healthy. Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your wonderful words of encouragement. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest of honor for today is someone who has carved her own space in an industry that was competitive and traditionally structured. She is one of the first persons to bring PR into the limelight in Kolkata. Having successfully started her own company, Ritam Communications, which is currently well into its way of its 3rd decade of existence, she is a leader and a mentor who has given shape to countless dreams and careers. She has a master's degree in journalism from the United States of America, is an author of several books on PR and other subjects, and she has also been a professor of media studies for 2 decades. Her latest book, PR 2020, is a must-read for all students, and we are delighted to have her grace our occasion once again. Madam Rita Bhimani, thank you so much for being with us today. May I please request you to kindly address our audience.
So much, Ognijita. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Beautifully conducted, and good morning to the distinguished faculty of the Heritage Academy. And thank you so much for all your enlightening thoughts. I really do feel very, very privileged that you have asked me to be part of this orientation program. It means a lot to me to be able to actually talk to the students. I may not be able to see them, but at least to be able to share something with them. And I really do welcome these bright young students who are waiting to achieve excellence. Professor Gour Banerjee talked about the state-of-the-art facilities that Heritage has. The mentorship programs and the webinars, to name some, has also given encouragement about the previous successes and placements of students. Professor Madhupa time talked positively about the fact that students have the director of HBS, talked about the freedom of choice, something that you're very, very privileged to get at Heritage. But he has also cautioned you about the fact that there are many uncertainties you face when you have the freedom of choice, but that should again egg you on for your self-confidence. Mr. Probir Roy, again, somebody I've known for ages, talked about the forward thinking of the founders of the Kalyan Bharati Trust, which helmed so many institutes which are all part of the heritage panel now. And he has particularly mentioned something in our, or you ought to be, then you should become global citizens one fine day. And Mr. Pradip Agarwal, thank you once again for inviting me. You have done so many a time, and I'm glad to be here again. Mr. Agarwal focused on the new education policy, and I think as students, all of you, or whatever it is, and try to look at the finer points of the new education policy. I think you should also take this opportunity, as he said, to go on to various online programs. You have been thinking very, very basic, very, very basic thoughts. What if a traffic light is red, yellow, and green, could read as stop, smile, and go? And if the yellow light could have a smiley on it, you know, the kind that you guys use without at the end of a message, well, this smiley on the yellow light could signify expectancy, the fact that you're happy that the gruff and forbidding red stop sign, which could stand for the pandemic that has changed so many of our lives, to one which is giving you the hope to be in the go mode, and you can move forward onto your destination. The green mode signaling that you must look and leap forward to start out on a new path of learning. As the director of HBS said, we will teach you how to fly, and I'm sure all your faculty are going to be able to do that. So what is this learning? Don't think books, think to become more innovative, more connected without physically meeting, more creative in trying to use the space that we never had to think, to plan. Today, dream big and learn deep. There will be plenty of online, of course, for you. But what I would like to emphasize to you is to absorb what is being taught to you and add your own new, fresh approaches to build on what is being imparted to you. There are a host of fields that, of course, you can get into in the long run. But right now, to me, it is paramount to communicate with your own students, your fellow students. Share your thoughts. Don't be in isolation. Become creative, become constructive, think of out-of-the-box solutions. I'll share with you very, very briefly how during the lockdown, I've been working on a coffee table book on the revival of Muga, which is a fabulous Assamese silk. This is the first time I've actually been dealing with designers online, correcting proofs online, and non-physically different times. I really thought one would never be able to get through with the
I think there's a slight issue with ma'am's connection or network.
Yes, there seems to be.
Rita, you have some problem with technology. Your voice is breaking. Your
Even
voice
the picture is frozen.
I think her network connection is creating some issues for her. Can we have our hosts please see if she is with us on this call?
She's
I
there.
think she is back.
She's there.
Please unmute yourself. Rita Di, please unmute yourself.
Okay.
Yes.
I've unmuted myself?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
Okay,
You are clear
suddenly
now.
I found that the screen had gone off. So
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say is that we'll actually have a physical launch probably towards the end of the year, maybe in November. I'm hoping that things will improve. We all can only hope that things will change. And that is the hope that all of you should live with. So nothing should deter you. Treat these difficult times as opportunities. Overcome your fears, overcome your obstacles, keep that smiley in the forefront, laugh away your concerns, and give your new learning your best shot. I've heard and I've seen some statistics which say that while a child, perhaps a 4-year-old, laughs 300 times a day, a 40-year-old laughs less than 10 times a day. You are somewhere in between. You're at that peak. So please keep climbing, imbibing, and doing the best you can. Good luck.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for those warm and wonderful words. Now, I would also like to welcome our chief guest to our program. Ladies and gentlemen, she is an educator like no other. She's a leading economist and a firebrand in her field. Starting her career at Lady Bribone College, she has spearheaded education at leading colleges in Kolkata, namely Presidency College, Maulana Azad College, Bethune College, and the University of Calcutta. She led the Department of Economics at Presidency College to becoming the first department in the country from the category of social sciences to be awarded the DST-FIST grant in 2003 and 4. At present, she is the Vice Chairperson of the West Bengal State Council of Higher Education. I would now like to invite our chief guest, Professor Dr. Mamata Roy Chaudhuri, Vice Chairperson, West Bengal State Council of Higher Education, to kindly say a few words and address our audiences. Madam. Is Professor Roy Chaudhuri with us?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Can you hear me, please?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, we can. Welcome.
So, a very good morning to all of you, and thank you for your all so good words. Respected Chief Executive Officer, Kalyan Bharati Trust, Mr. Pradip Agarwal, a very keen and dynamic academic administrator. You all know him, sir. Respected Director, Kalyan Bharati Trust, Mr. Probir Roy, very experienced and well exposed. Professor Dr. K.K. Chaudhuri, Director, the Heritage Business School. And I have the privilege to work with sir in a different platform and always having very, very enriching experience. Respected Principal of the Heritage Academy, Professor Dr. Gour Banerjee. I have met him many times and I have received very well thought educational plans and his structured administrative schemes. My friend Madhupa, Dr. Madhupa Bakshi, was, and we are again working in a different team presently. And I don't know whether he's here, Professor Dr. Pushpita Bhattacharya, Principal, the Heritage College. all my colleague teachers, faculty members of the heritage group of institutions, and all of us have gladly assembled here because we are here to welcome, to extend a very, very hearty welcome to the freshers, the new students of BPA, BCA, and UG/PG Media Science of the Heritage Academy. I'm indeed grateful to the organizers for kindly inviting me and address the students whom perhaps we cannot see, but always the students are in our mind. Always, they are the first, they are the last. So, all of us together in this auspicious day extend our heartfelt, warm welcome to you, my dear students, and of course, our heartfelt blessings and best wishes, always with you. Now, I must congratulate you for organizing this wonderful program, the Convergence, and in particular for timely completing the procedure of admission into the courses, collecting the best students perhaps, and initiating the process so early and completing the process so early. I don't know whether the academic session will begin immediately, but this induction will of course give them a feeling of belongingness to their curricula and belongingness to their institution. You learn a lot during this period. Whenever the academic session formally starts is immaterial for the time being. So the point is, during this pandemic period, we always remember that 100 years back, the world faced a pandemic like this, the Spanish flu, which killed nearly 5 crore people. During that time, world was in another difficult situation. It was facing the First World War also. The outbreak at that time was in an army camp near Chicago, so far I remember, and within 48 hours, right, many army men died because of flu. Apparent symptom was flu and high fever. But at that time, there was no electronic computer. There was no microscope, high-end microscope, and because of this, right, even the virus could not be detected. The situation has changed. After 100 years, our scientists have detected the virus. At least we know that this is the virus. And these are the ways it is mutating. It has so many strains, right? Every day it is changing its nature, giving newer and newer challenges to the researchers to innovate the most effective vaccine. And of course, there is health diplomacy and huge commercial interest around the vaccines, etc., complicating matters which our young students would be able to perceive, right? How complex the world is, even in this situation of misery. We are fighting death, we are fighting, right, economic downgrade, we are fighting miserable poverty, right, sudden poverty, etc., and most of all, we are fighting the setback in the education sector. The education sector across the world, right, has promptly has been trying to restore the regular academic activities, has gone online immediately. All schools and colleges, even in the most poor countries, the poorest of the countries, even in Africa, they are trying to go online. But the fact remains, the digital access or the internet access in many countries, we are fortunate that we are having, right, a very, very steep improvement in the digital access over the last decade. But in many countries, this is very poor still. So the COVID-19 has impacted education in those countries in a very, very different way, which we cannot conceive sitting here. You are the fortunate right, to take your admission in the Heritage College, Heritage Academy, because you have already learned from the organizers, from the administrators, from your teachers, the kind of infrastructure which you would be able to enjoy in this academy. Not only teaching resources, you have good library resources, you have internet facilities, you have e-books, and also you are well connected with your fields abroad. So these are the advantages. But what you will, we are calling it new normal, new normal. What is the concept of new normal? I remember that after 2 months, when the London School of Economics, I am referring to London School of Economics because it has courses, right? Sometimes parallel to the courses which this academy also. So when the London School of Economics closed down their campus and shifted to online teaching, learning, examinations, and assignment submission, the students were asked to pack up, vacate the hostels. They usually come from across the world. They had to leave. And of course, during that time, initially for 2 months, it was tremendous fall in their academic productivity as they admitted. I remember the student ambassador, Pivik, Dragona Pivik, her name perhaps. She, in her attempt to restore confidence in the students and fellow students, she defined new normal long back, 2 months back. In her own way, she advised her fellow students, accept what is happening, say okay, right? Then you would be able to come back to your normal self. Say okay, yes, the productivity has gone down, but there would be ample scope to increase the productivity in future. So what you can do in present time to focus on that. Then she said that you arrange your home study system. It is possible for them to arrange their home study system, but we know many students, they live in one room with their families. Very difficult to arrange. There are brighter students in Jadavpur University. The other day, the Vice Chancellor of the Jadavpur University was discussing that many students from very poor background come to study engineering and many other things in Jadavpur University, and they stay in the hostel even during the holidays. They don't want to go back to home because that would hamper their study. They don't have that facilities in their one-room home. So they are the affected persons. We have to reflect on all this because you would be the future leaders in business, in education, in media. You will have to draw attention of the entire society, entire world to these meritorious students, right? Who should always enjoy the equal facilities. We have to extend, we have to give. They are trying to give support so that they have access to internet. They are trying to give financial help. Also, many universities in the corners of West Bengal are fighting with this problem, how to shift to online examinations, because the UGC, it has mandated that the terminal examinations should be held online, offline, or in blended mode, and also sticking to the COVID safeguard protocol. So the universities and institutions, they are now trying to balance the two. We have to stick to the protocol, safeguards, and we have to conduct the examinations involving lakhs of students. These are the challenges. We have to make this the new normal. Challenges have to be made. So we have trying to resolve these problems. In your case, therefore, I consider you very, very fortunate and privileged, right? We have to actually stick to certain things so that this time can be productively used. The institutions, the colleges are trying to give online instruction. They will demand online assignments in right time, as Professor K.K. Chaudhuri has already told you. So you have to be very organized. How you would be organized to create a new normal environment in the field of academics? Because you are the most important stakeholders along with teachers and academic administrators. So being the most important, also your parents are also very, very important stakeholders at par with the teachers perhaps. So how you will transform yourself to adjust to the situation, the pandemic situation. According to one report, that across the world, more than 300 million students, they have been affected. The huge number. 6 months are not lost. We cannot afford to lose even one day from our everyday routine, right? So how to adjust to this situation? So I think from my experience, your college reminds me one great institution which was set up nearly 200 years back. You have mentioned Presidency College. It was set up on private enterprise, like your college, the Heritage College. In 1817, it was set up in 1817 by some Hindu moneyed people, mostly to protect our country's culture and heritage, and again to adapt the youth to the new Western civilization, new Western science and their literature, their philosophy, right? So this kind of exposure, the concept of freedom at that time mesmerized some of our leading personalities. And that way the Bengal Renaissance came gradually with the help of many others. I must mention also the name of Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. I don't know how many of you have followed him. We are celebrating his 200 years. He was the first principal of the first college, government college for Hindu boys, the government Sanskrit college in 1824. The point I am mentioning his name is not for the social reforms which he did, not for anything, but the huge academic reforms which he introduced as principal of that college during his period 1851 to 1856. We cannot even imagine. Nowadays, the University Grants Commission is researching on what is called the Learning Outcome Based Curriculum Framework, LOCF. What is the learning outcome of our education? What do you expect from education? What kind of learning subject-wise experts are preparing? The LOCF. But long back, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, he introduced, instead of Sanskrit Mugdhabodh grammar, which the students used to study for 3 years without actually realizing the science of grammar. So they could not relate how grammar could be connected with high quality literature in Sanskrit. They could not follow even the literature. Amidst tremendous opposition, he introduced his own books. You see how courageous he was at that time. He introduced his Vyakaran Kaumudi and also Upakramanyika. And at the same time, in the Vyakaran, the grammar classes, he introduced a kind of, a collection of high quality Sanskrit literature. So the students immediately could understand the relationship between grammar and literature. How we can create good quality literature. What is the meaning of this sentence in literature? That is the outcome-based, curriculum, which he started without knowing this pedagogy, without knowing anything, but just from experience. Teachers are so resourceful, so resourceful. I would appeal to the students, follow your teachers. Everything will not be written in the textbooks. Everything you will not get online. But what they will be teaching online, every class you please do attend. You will have your new insights. You will have your new insights. So what would be your way of life in the so-called new normal situation? This is not normal. I would like to see you face to face, very much. I believe that others also, Mrs. Bhimani, very famous, and all of us know about you, madam. She would also come personally and would greet you by holding your hands. That is the normal, but new normal. We have nothing to do. We have no alternatives, so we are making it normal. So how you can behave during this situation? This is from my personal experience. I would like to share one or two clues. Just, I think the time is over. So you fix your intention first. You know that you have so many applications on your mobile phone. If you keep all of them running, immediately the battery, the energy would dry up. So you have so many things in your mind, right? Now in college, when you have to build up your career, you fix your intention. You try to see what you want to do in future, right? You will shift from that, I understand. As you learn more and more, new avenues would emerge before you. New scenarios would emerge before you. But for the moment, you try to understand how you can proceed and focus on something, on your new learning. You focus on your new learning. And then I would request you to manage your emotions, because that student ambassador, she said that in the initial months, weeks, they had tremendous emotional imbalances to cope with this. Not meeting their dear friends, not seeing their faculty members, not visiting the library, and of course, not visiting the coffee shops also. We in groups, that is also a part of our life, right? So coping with the emotions is also very, very important. You try to manage your emotions. Don't feel bored during this situation. I am sure you are not feeling bored, right? And you remain calm and quiet. You know that your intelligence, the academic intelligence, get enhanced, always gets enhanced if you have mature emotional intelligence. And this was pointed out by David Goldman in his very, very famous book. So, thirdly, you find happiness in whatever you have. What is happiness? We cannot define that. We have one very precise definition by one German philosopher, right? He said that happiness is the satisfaction of all our desires. So we have to set our choose our desires. What could be our desires during this time, right? So happiness index sometimes is the percentage of desires which presently we have, whether they are met or not. That also is taken as happiness index. But you have to define your desires. First of all, you have to relate your happiness to your desires. What are the desires at this moment of your to go outside and enjoy? If that is your desire during the COVID period, you will certainly be unhappy. So even when you set your desires, there are two types of desires. Desires to actually consume, enjoy, and all this, but there are also aspirational desires, which we can call ambition. Even Swami Vivekananda, he said, no good work, no constructive work can be done without your ambition. So you have to set your desires in the right direction. In consultation might be with your fellow students, peer group, very, very, the best guides sometimes in residency, we had the very, very enlightened peer group, the teachers and your parents, of course, in home. And also during this time, keeping in mind the time, don't get frustrated when you are criticized. If you are too lazy, right? Your mother may find you too lazy. You are not. You are doing something. Of course, the mother may like to have you help her in domestic chore, right? So if you hear criticism, don't take it in a different way. Criticism is constructive. Those who are criticizing you, try to actually accept them. Try to accept them as your own reflections in the mirror opposite, right? So if this is unfair criticism, then please try to let it go. Ignore that. Very difficult, particularly in your age. But during this time, it is time to rebuild you, right? It is time to make the situation new normal, also in your home, within your family and outside your family, in your institution. You have that responsibility, you, the younger generation. because we have set values. We are set to the work culture which we are cultivating for decades. You are the ones who can quickly adapt to the new situation. And also I would request you, make good use of your time. The assignments, depending on the complexity of the assignments and time set, you try to carry out your assignments and submit in time. You never try to pray for extension of time. Often we do. Often we see that students are doing. This is the time to organize yourselves and to make you, as I really appreciated, a very, very good human being with balanced emotions and constructive attitude. You will be then very happy and you would make all of us happy, right? So today's interaction with all of you, the academic administrators whom we always admire, our faculty members, the principals, and above all the Kalyan Bharati Trust, which has actually invested their time, their money, and everything like long back in Hindu college, right, to promote education, and that too, inclusive education with excellence. So with this submission to our new students, I think that they would try their best to create a new normal situation in their home and outside their home also. We learn a lot, dear boys and girls, from you every day, every day. So thank you, and I would end by reciting one poem from Swami Vivekananda. Thou mother of blessings, thou the giver of desires, thou the doer of all good, to thee our salutation. Thee we salute, thee we salute, thee we salute. This mother is absolute and abstract, but she is always in our heart. So I believe that we all of us, even during darkness, we salute the good motherly sense. Thank you all of us to give me a patient hearing. Thank you, and God bless all my dear boys and girls. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your words of wisdom. And thank you to our chief guest and our guest of honor. I'm sure our students will find your words enlightening and very helpful as they try to navigate this chaotic world that hangs out of balance and try and find their own balance amidst it.
Please excuse me, one thing. May I give some assignments to your students?
Sure, ma'am. I'm sure they'd enjoy it. Please,
I would
please.
request them, because they are from BBA, BCA, and also the media, I would request them to kindly analyze the economic package, right, announced by the Government of India in 5 phases. Their impact on MSME, their impact on poverty, and also other aspects. So you can please do that. Thank you. And sorry for interrupting.
Not at all, madam, not at all. I'm sure they're going to find it very interesting, in fact, and we've all been talking about current affairs and the importance of current affairs, and understanding that is a huge part of navigating this world and finding our own balance in it. So without further ado, I'm going to now invite Ms. Atrey Chatterjee, Assistant Professor of the Heritage Academy, to kindly deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Rita. No duty is more urgent than returning thanks. Today, on the auspicious day of our induction, I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of the Heritage Academy to thank Ms. Professor Dr. Mamata Roy Chaudhuri, Vice Chairperson, West Bengal State Council of Higher Education, for her august presence and motivating words. I would like to thank Ms. Rita Bhimani, Founder, CEO, Ritam Communications, for her kind words and encouraging presence. This event would not have been possible without the support and encouragement of Mr. Probir Roy Sir, Director, Kalyan Bharati Trust. I would like to express my sincere thanks to Shri Pradip Kumar Agarwal Sir, Chief Executive Officer, Kalyan Bharati Trust, for his motivation and support. I would like to thank Professor Dr. K.K. Chaudhuri Sir, Director, Heritage Business School, for his presence and words of inspiration. A special mention to our founder principal, Professor Dr. Gour Banerjee sir, for being our source of energy and imbibe us to perform and excel. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Professor Dr. Madhupa Bakshi, Dean Media Science, for being our pillar of support. We are thankful to our campus administrator, Commander S. Day, for his support and presence. We are indebted to Ms. Swasini Chaudhuri, Coordinator Industry Relations, Heritage Group of Institution, and Devashish Kormoka, System Administrator, for their support. I extend my token of appreciation to Ms. Mohua Shom for her help and support. I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to all the parents and students for their presence and perseverance. I would like to thank our faculty members and staff for their presence. Lastly, I would like to thank Ms. Ognijita Mukherjee for being our guide today. Thank you once again, all of you, for your presence.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for those wonderful words. And now, ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the end of the first part of the proceedings of the day, please join us in singing our national anthem.
Punjab, Sindhu, Gujarat, Maratha, Dravid, Uttal, Ganga, Vindhya, Himachal, Yamuna, Ganga, Uttal, Jaladhi, Taranga. Tab shubh naame jaage, tab shubh आशीष मांगे, गाहे तब जय गाथा. जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता.